morning. Welcome to part 4 of Excel, learning how to make data tables so that the hard work can be done for you on the computer. Today we're going to focus on adding equations and letting the computer do some calculations for you. So we're going to add and find a column for the equations, add the appropriate title to the columns, use the equal sign to let the computer know that you want it to do some math. Fourth, we're going to apply the calculation to all of the cells in the column and not have to redo that initial equation. Fifth, clean up the titles to include the new columns, and finally, adjust your key to reflect the new information. So let's get started. First, adding or finding a column for the equations that we want to be including. So back to our Excel document, we want to include a new column for our M1D1, or our load, in order to calculate our load. I'm looking and I see that I don't have a column to the left or the right that I can just type into. So I need to insert a column, so I come over to the top right with that arrow down, insert a column, and now I have it. At the very top, instead of the print view, we can always change our view at the very top by clicking on normal versus page layout. Just a reminder that this blue dotted line does indicate where the page will separate when you print it. So I now have two columns in order to include my loads. Add the appropriate title to your column. So again, we're looking to find our loads for both sides, on the left and on the right. So to represent my load, I'm going to type my M1D1. Make sure that I include my units, so grams, centimeters, GCM, always putting units in parentheses. I'll do the same on both sides, M2, D2, GCM, there are my units, wonderful. I notice that I need to clean this up a little bit. These ones should be subscripts, so I can select that one. And as a reminder, we either go to Format and select Cells, or I can simply type in Command 1 and click on that bottom subscript button. Again, a bit of a review, but never bad to double check our work. All right, again, Command F1, subscript, and I now have the title that I would like for that left load column. Step 3. We're now going to add our equation. So let the computer do some calculations for us. The most important button to press to let your computer know that you want it to do math is to press the equal sign. So we're always going to have an equals at the beginning of any equation that we are inserting into our Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to come to that first row that has data in it. So I'm in that box in my load column. I type in equals, and then I want to select the data that I would like it to multiply. So I want it to be my mass 1 times my first distance. So I'm going to click on that load again in the same row. Pardon me, I'm going to click on that mass in the same row. And now I'm going to press multiply. So the symbol for multiply is the asterisk above the 8. So Shift 8. And now I click on the box for my D1. And now I press return or enter. The computer has now calculated the value of this box times the value in this cell. Step 4. We're going to apply this calculation to all the cells in the column. So I don't want to keep typing in the same equation over and over again. Instead, I can do a simple trick on the computer to have it calculate for me. So I'm going to click back into the box that was just calculated, and I'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little green box. If I hover my cursor over it, my cursor turns into a black cross. If I click down on that black cross and drag down along the column all the way to the bottom, that equation will be applied to each of those cells. Notice that the row number changes as you move down. It's applied that equation to each row. Step 5, cleaning up the titles to include new columns. So previously, we had our title for the whole thing and then the title for the left-hand side, but we notice that it's no longer covering our new information or our new column. So we want to clean it up so that we include that new information. How do we do that? This is some formatting that you've probably done before, but it's just a reminder. So what I want to do is select everywhere that I want to be left side. Since M1D1 represents the left side load, I'm going to come up here to my merge and center button, unmerge those cells, and then I will remerge them so that it takes up all 3 of those columns instead of just the mass and distance. I can do the same thing for my title. Again, unmerge, so select all of the columns. It should be 6 columns for this data table. Unmerge and then remerge and center, and it will now take up both sides. It's important that these columns fit onto one page. So again, as a reminder, I can select from the very top, click on those letters at the top to get that second load onto the same page. Decrease that width until all 6 of those columns are inside that blue dotted line. As a recap, let's quickly do our M2D2, our load on the right-hand side. So again, I'm going to select those numbers that need to be subscript, press Command 1, make them a subscript, do that for the second, and I'm good to go. Again, if I want to have it calculate for me, the first button I press is the equal sign, select my M2, Command H, so I get my asterisk, times D2, click on that box, press Enter, get back in that box, find that green box, hover my cursor, get my black cross, and now apply it to the entire column. Good recap. A reminder, we need to add our borders so that we are outlining that new information that we just included. So switching back over, I can select the entire data table, come back to the top, and select all borders.